was going to shoot the part that I was playing. I believe he was the first Christian, and turned out to be the first Christian. Yeah. Anyway.
Ernest Borgnine is a living witness to the golden age of Hollywood. But did you know that he revealed the list of the most evil actors behind the spotlight, who are the golden faces in real life, but dark behind the scenes? Don't look away. These little-known revelations will make you see old Hollywood with completely different eyes. Number 1. Kirk Douglas. Disturbing allegations have cast a shadow over Douglas's legacy. Perhaps the most serious were allegations that he sexually assaulted actress Natalie Wood when she was a teenager. According to Wood's sister, Lana's 2021 memoir, Douglas allegedly assaulted Natalie in the summer of 1955 while filming The Searchers. Lana Wood claimed their mother arranged a meeting at the Chateau Marmont Hotel, hoping Douglas could boost their daughter's career. After the meeting, Lana recalled, "She looked terrible. She was very disheveled and very upset, and she and her mother started whispering to each other urgently." Years later, Natalie allegedly told her sister that Douglas hurt you, Lana. The family reportedly agreed to keep quiet, fearing that speaking out would ruin Natalie's career. Furthermore, Douglas was linked to the 1949 disappearance of 26-year-old actress Jean Spangler. When only her purse was found, it contained a note addressed to Kirk that read, "Kirk can't wait any longer. Go see Dr. Scott. It would be better if your mother were away." Some speculated that the note was related to an abortion, although Douglas claimed he did not know Spangler, despite working with her on a film at the time. By his admission, Douglas was a notorious womanizer. Reports suggest he once claimed to have slept with 29 women in 29 days. His affairs allegedly included relationships with numerous Hollywood actresses such as Rita Hayworth, Marlene Dietrich, Joan Crawford, and Ava Gardner. As actress Neela Adams noted in 2016, "You could not sit beside him without his hand crawling up your leg." On set, Douglas earned a reputation for intensity and demanding perfectionism. Colleagues described him as a compulsively hard worker who expected others to exude the same level of energy. This intensity reportedly spilled over into all elements of his filmmaking, creating a challenging work environment for many. Director Melville Shavelson, who worked with Douglas on Cast a Giant Shadow, discovered that Douglas's intelligence made him particularly difficult to direct. Kirk had not only read the lines of everyone in the picture, he had also read the stage directions. Kirk, I was to discover, always read every word discussed, every word, always argued every scene until he was convinced of its correctness. This perfectionism extended to his acting approach. Douglas dived into every role, dissecting not only his lines, but all the parts in the script to measure the rightness of the role, and he was willing to fight with a director if he felt justified. Such behavior led Douglas to acknowledge, "I'm probably the most disliked actor in Hollywood, and I feel pretty good about it because that's me. I'm a pretty unlikable character." His controlling tendencies manifested professionally when he established Brina Productions, named after his mother, in 1949, becoming one of the first leading actors to form his own production company. This gave him unprecedented control over his projects. In one notable instance, he fired the original director of Spartacus, Anthony Mann, after just 1 week of filming. Nonetheless, this control allowed Douglas to take important stands, such as his decision to credit blacklisted writer Dalton Trumbo for Spartacus. As Trumbo reportedly told Douglas after walking onto the set, "Kirk, thanks for giving me back my name. When asked about his approach to acting, Douglas emphasized determination and application. You must know how to function and how to maintain yourself, and you must have a love of what you do. He also noted that success required great good luck, which he believed he had enjoyed throughout his career. Douglas's complex personality, fierce clenched, driven by passionate intensity, made him both a Hollywood legend and a controversial figure whose full legacy continues to be debated long after his death. Number 2. Natalie Wood. Glamorous, yet enigmatic Natalie Wood remains one of Hollywood's most compelling figures from the Golden Age. Throughout her career, Wood maintained a sophisticated glamour image. Photographers regularly photographed her at Hollywood's most exclusive events, but those who knew her described her as someone quite different from her public image. As her daughter, Natasha Gregson Wagner, noted, "We weren't raised by someone who looked like a movie star. She just seemed larger than life, but not because she was famous. It was because she was herself." Life magazine recognized Wood's business acumen in a 1963 article calling her a smart businesswoman. The accompanying photo shows her sitting at the head of a table surrounded by male executives, all of whom worked for her, creating a visual testament to her professional power. Behind Wood's successful career lay some deeply disturbing experiences. In 2021, Natalie's older sister, Lana Wood, published a memoir identifying actor Kirk Douglas as the alleged attacker who attacked her sister in 1955 when Natalie was a teenager. According to Lana, their mother, Maria Zakharenko, arranged a meeting between Natalie and Douglas at the Chateau Marmont Hotel, hoping that the star's influence could boost her daughter's career. When Natalie returned to the car after the meeting, she appeared distressed. "She looked terrible," Lana recalled. "She was very disheveled and very sad, and she and her mother began whispering urgently to each other." Years passed before Natalie revealed to her sister what had happened that night. Lana remembers Natalie saying, "And, he hurt me, Lana. It was like an out-of-body experience. I was so scared, I was so confused." However, mother and daughter reportedly agreed to keep quiet about the incident, fearing that it would ruin Natalie's promising career. Maria's advice to her daughter was simply to get over it. The incident was just one aspect of a childhood where career advancement took precedence over happiness. Lana described their mother as almost wanting Natalie to become a star. Wood herself acknowledged this problematic move, saying, "I saw my parents as gods, whose every wish had to be obeyed, or I would suffer the punishment of sin and suffering." Furthermore, at the age of 16, Wood was allegedly lured into acting by the director of the film Rebel Without a Cause, who allegedly told her that the experience was necessary for her to convincingly play a bad girl. Despite these traumatic experiences, Wood grew into a powerful force in the industry, fighting for better conditions for herself and others. In 1959, at the age of 20, she took the bold step of going on strike against Warner Brothers when the studio refused to allow her to star in at least one film a year. This remarkable standoff lasted 18 months, yet ultimately resulted in victory for Wood. Studio head Jack Warner eventually conceded, granting her unprecedented control over project selection. Wood's first self-selected role became The West Side Story, a choice that cemented her place in cinema history. Wood consistently demonstrated exceptional professional advocacy. Upon discovering she was receiving lower compensation than her male co-stars Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis in The Great Race, 1965, she demanded equal pay. Subsequently, she ensured all her contracts included profit percentages rather than just flat fees, recognizing this as the path to true financial equity. Additionally, Wood insisted her contracts include provisions for therapy appointments, a groundbreaking inclusion that normalized mental health care decades before Hollywood openly embraced such concepts. She extended her advocacy to others as well, using her influence to champion marginalized voices. For instance, she hired openly gay playwright Mart Crowley as her assistant, providing him financial support that enabled him to write The Boys in the Band. Wood's professional reputation extended beyond advocacy to her supportive role toward other performers. She famously fought for then-unknown Robert Redford to be cast as her co-star in Inside Daisy Clover, demonstrating her willingness to use her star power to elevate emerging talent. Tragically, Wood's life ended under mysterious circumstances in 1981 when she drowned off Catalina Island at age 43. Though initially ruled an accident, authorities reopened the investigation in 2011, eventually changing her cause of death to drowning and other undetermined factors. This ambiguous conclusion ensures that alongside her artistic legacy, questions about her final moments continue to captivate public attention, keeping her name in cultural consciousness long after her passing. Number 3. Spencer Tracy. Acclaimed yet troubled Spencer, Tracy stood among the most paradoxical figures of Hollywood's golden age. His unparalleled acting skills contrasted sharply with a personal life marked by alcoholism, guilt, and complex relationships. Through both his extraordinary performances and his private demons, Tracy epitomized the complicated realities behind the glamorous facade of classic Hollywood stardom. Tracy struggled with alcoholism throughout adulthood, often disappearing for weeks during binges so severe that no one knew what state he was in, both figuratively and literally. These episodes occasionally required institutionalization under false names, with his delusions becoming so severe that he sometimes needed restraint in a straitjacket under medical supervision. His drinking problem remained an open secret among industry insiders, albeit kept from gossip magazines by MGM's powerful publicity department. As Lauren Bacall revealed, Tracy's alcoholism sometimes created difficult situations, as at the Beverly Hills Hotel, where staff knew he had lost control if they saw Katharine Hepburn sleeping outside his room because the sloshed actor had locked himself in. Tracy's guilt over his son John's deafness profoundly affected him. Convinced the condition represented divine punishment for his sins, Tracy began drinking heavily to numb his feelings. This Catholic guilt became a defining aspect of his tortured psyche. Joseph Mankiewicz observed, "He didn't leave Louise, he left the scene of his guilt." Besides alcoholism, Tracy maintained a reputation as a womanizer. His affairs included a relationship with Loretta Young, and most significantly, his 25-year romance with Katharine Hepburn beginning in 1942. Despite this relationship, Tracy never divorced his wife Louise, remaining married to her from 1923 until he died in 1967, primarily due to his strict Catholic beliefs. On set, Tracy could be exceptionally difficult. During a 1945 Broadway production, he began to bristle at direction and started digging in his heels at suggestions. As the production continued, he grew more and more bitter, eventually hating the grind, hating the play, even hating his fellow actors. He even began giving notes to other performers, something considered verboten for any actor to do. Simultaneously, Tracy showed tremendous dedication to craft, albeit on his terms. According to director Vincente Minnelli, he knew how to throw the unimportant things away, and he knew how to create the illusion of throwing the important things away too, so that they were inscribed on your mind. This expertise in underplaying scenes made him revered among fellow actors despite his sometimes challenging personality. Despite personal struggles, Tracy demonstrated deep compassion at crucial moments. Lauren Bacall recalled how during Humphrey Bogart's final weeks battling cancer, Spence and Katie came almost every night. Bogey looked forward to their visits. Tracy maintained his composure during these difficult visits, though Hepburn later revealed he was shattered before each visit and shattered after. When asked to deliver Bogart's eulogy, Tracy declined, explaining, "I just couldn't. I wouldn't be able to get through it. I loved old Bogey." This raw emotional honesty revealed the vulnerability beneath his sometimes difficult exterior. Tracy's final years were marked by additional health challenges, including heart disease and diabetes, diagnosed in 1965. Only 17 days after completing his final film with Hepburn, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Tracy died from a heart attack in 1967. Hepburn, who discovered him later, observed he looked so happy to be done with living, which for all his accomplishments had been a frightful burden for him. Number 4. Marilyn Monroe. Beneath the platinum blonde exterior, Marilyn Monroe embodied the most extreme contradictions of Hollywood's golden age. Beneath the glamorous facade existed a woman battling severe mental health issues and exploitation. Monroe's struggles with anxiety, depression, and insomnia were well documented, leading to heavy reliance on barbiturates. In 1961, she was committed to Payne Whitney's psychiatric ward, where staff misinterpreted her desperate pleas to leave as evidence of psychosis. Monroe's relationships with powerful men often came at a steep personal cost. Her involvement with both President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert remains one of American history's biggest scandals. Although she was drawn to powerful men, maybe because she had spent her whole life feeling powerless, these connections frequently left her vulnerable to exploitation. Much of Monroe's behavior stemmed from childhood trauma. Her mother, Glad, was mentally unable to raise her, resulting in Monroe becoming a ward of the state and living with allegedly abusive family friends before entering an orphanage. Arthur Miller later revealed to the BBC that her mother tried to call her 3 times, experiences that left profound psychological scars. On film sets, Monroe's behavior frequently frustrated colleagues due to her debilitating performance anxiety. According to actor Don Murray, she would arrive late on set more often than not and displayed a lack of discipline he found very strange. Murray noted that she couldn't make 2 sentences meet, which became a running joke. Conversely, Jack Lemmon, her Some Like It Hot co-star, observed that although she would often remain in her dressing room until she had psyched herself up and could face the cameras, her anxiety sure as hell didn't hurt her performances because she was wonderful. Monroe's intelligence contradicted her dumb blonde screen persona. With an IQ reportedly of 168, she attended UCLA classes at night, studied history and literature, read extensively, and even wrote poetry. Furthermore, she used her influence for good causes, once intervening when jazz legend Ella Fitzgerald couldn't secure bookings. As Fitzgerald herself recounted, "I owe Marilyn Monroe a real debt. She called the owner of the Macambo and told him she wanted me booked immediately." Ultimately, Monroe's death from barbiturate overdose in 1962 remains controversial. Although officially ruled a suicide, the investigation was reopened in 1982, though no new conclusion was reached. In death, as in life, Monroe continues to embody Hollywood's most profound contradictions, a woman who changed the industry while being consumed by it. Number 5. Errol Flynn. Swashbuckling, scandalous, and self-destructive. Errol Flynn epitomized Hollywood's dangerous charm during cinema's golden years. His life story reads like a cautionary tale of talent squandered amid excess, revealing the dark underbelly of fame in classic Hollywood. Throughout his career, Flynn captivated audiences with his magnetic screen presence and rakish charm. As Thomas McNulty noted, he had one of the most magnetic screen personalities that ever existed and was a much better actor than people gave him credit for. After modest theatrical work, Flynn achieved breakthrough success in Captain Blood, launching an unparalleled career that cemented him as the premier action star of his era. Flynn's appeal transcended his performances. As his daughter Rory explained, "I think one of the things that intrigued men was that he did what he damn well pleased. Dad always did what he wanted when he wanted. There wasn't a man alive who didn't envy that." This carefree public persona made him equally appealing to women, establishing him as Hollywood's quintessential bad boy. Flynn's wild lifestyle led to his most devastating scandal. In 1942, two 17-year-old girls accused him of statutory sexual misconduct. From the start, the trial became a media phenomenon. Although he was acquitted, the damage was permanent. The phrase, "in like Flynn," became a common parlance as a vulgar reference to sex. Flynn himself showed no remorse, writing in his autobiography, "I may have committed a terrible crime, according to the law, that is. But in the world of everyday common sense, everyone knew that the girls had brought it on themselves." On top of that, his substance abuse hastened his decline. Famous for hiding vodka on set, his addiction eventually led to his death at the age of 50. On set, Flynn's behavior ranged from mischievous to vicious. He once put a dead snake in Olivia de Havilland's underwear, leaving her terrified and crying. Likewise, his conflict with Bette Davis in The Private Lives of Elizabeth and Essex culminated when she hit him so hard with a herring-worn hand during filming that he retreated to his dressing room and vomited. At the same time, Flynn showed surprising vulnerability. His autobiography reveals a troubled man who felt exploited. "I felt used by the studio, used by the press for entertainment, used by society as a piece of chalk to color the world." Thus, by the end of his life, Flynn had become a caricature of his former self, bloated, gray-haired, and alcoholic, a fallen star, whose legend continues to appeal long after his death. What do you think about these 5 names and their shocking behind-the-scenes secrets? Who is the darkest one? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you, and see you in the next videos.